What's up everybody, this is Danny and today I'm doing a camera comparison between the Pixel 4 and the iPhone 11 Pro. So I think a lot of people will be interested in this camera comparison because the camera is pretty much the determining factor on a lot of people's minds when it comes to buying a phone. So I'm really curious to see how both of these cameras do because they are taking two different approaches. So I'm gonna test these in every single lighting condition, check the video, all that good stuff, and then you just let me know which microphone sounds better, which image you think looks better. I'm gonna switch off in between the two, and then you can spend a day with me and we can test these cameras and see which one is the best. Let's do it. First, let's talk about the testing process. All of these pictures were taken on auto mode, all effects were removed. Both of these phones don't have a pro mode, so that makes things fair when it comes to the comparison process. Both of these phones were made for the average consumer to take a great photo regardless of experience. I love both of these cameras and you'll be happy with either of these, but this comparison took me by surprise, so make sure you watch until the end to see who the winner is. Let's start with daylight. For the most part, they are very similar when it comes to good lighting. Both have great colors, lots of dynamic range, tons of detail, and great sharpness. But after looking at over 300 images side by side, here are a few differences that I noticed. Generally, the Pixel 4 is going to give you the more vibrant and contrasty shot. It usually leans towards the cooler tones on white balance as well. The color rendition is different, especially if you look at the sky, but a lot of this will be personal preference. The Smart HDR feature on the iPhone 11 Pro generally creates the brighter picture, capturing more shadow detail. On some shots, it's a lot more drastic like this one, but on some, it's a lot more subtle. When it comes to flexibility, the iPhone 11 Pro does have the ability to shoot in wide angle from the triple camera system. This is going to be highly debated, but I personally love the wide angle perspective. Let me know what you think about it and the wide angle lens in general. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I can't wait to read the comments on this one. I personally think it's the most useful lens to have on the back. The Pixel already has great super res zoom, which keeps things sharp even when you fully zoom in at 8x. So to me, it would have made more sense to add the wide angle lens so it would give the Pixel users the most flexibility, but maybe we'll get that next year. So it is what it is, let's move on. When it comes to the portrait mode, they both do a great job of background separation and edge detection, but they do have different approaches and looks. I'm surprised to see the more red skin tones make it over to the Pixel, especially on the selfies. The magenta cast used to be more prevalent on the iPhone side. You do get a much sharper image with the Pixel, and that is definitely noticeable. On the iPhone, the skin looks brighter, so let me know what you prefer. So I can see people favoring the iPhone when it comes to shots of people, but when it comes to non-human subjects, they do go back and forth for me. It's all going to depend on which processing that you like. There are times where the iPhone has better edge detection. Look around these bottles. The Pixel picked up the person on the left even though I focused on the bottles. Then there are times like this where the Pixel just does a much better job around the plant, so it does go back and forth. I shot so many pictures, it's crazy, so I'll post some more of these side-by-sides on Twitter and Instagram, so make sure you follow me there at Super Scientific to see more. The one thing I do appreciate about the Pixel processing is the balance when harsher lighting is introduced. On this manhole cover, the reflection is much brighter on the iPhones where the Pixels is more pleasing. This sun scorched section here is better controlled on the Pixel 4, and when it comes to the highlights on the skin, I prefer the Pixel 4 here on my children's faces. Even though this can be edited on the iPhone as well, but straight out of the camera, I like the Pixel better. But this wouldn't be a comparison if they didn't go back and forth. Look at the iPhone does a better job at the exact thing that I was talking about here on the Leaf. This is why I take so many photos in my comparisons, to give you the most comprehensive breakdown that I can. When it comes to video, this is where it gets easier. They both shoot in 4K, but the iPhone 11 Pro can shoot up to 4K 60 frames per second on every camera, including the wide angle and the front-facing camera, where the Pixel is capped at 4K 30 frames per second. The balance and sharpness is better on the iPhone 11 Pro. The colors are also more accurate. I do have to say that the Pixel's daytime video has improved this year, but dynamic range still needs work. The stabilization is nice on both of the cameras, but I think the iPhone does a better job. It's smoother, it's more consistent, and you get less micro jitters from the stabilization, so clear win for the video on the iPhone 11 Pro. Even the slow motion looks better in my opinion. It's smoother and it's sharper, so if you're a video shooter, definitely go for the iPhone. But when it comes to the photographs during the day, I'm going to lean on your personal preference because they are both fantastic. When it comes to the low light performance, this is where I was confused the most, because traditionally the Pixel series has blown away the iPhone when it comes to darker conditions, but this year it's a different story. Let's start with the mixed and regular low light first, and we'll move on to the night mode. Just like the daytime, generally Pixel is going to give you a more contrasted and punchier photo, and for nighttime that can make the shots look a lot more pleasing, but the white balance does go back and forth. Sometimes the Pixel gives you the more cool tones, but then sometimes it switches to where it gives you the warmer tones, so this will definitely be preference here as well. The more shots that I took, the more I realized that the gap has closed on the nighttime photography when it comes to the iPhone 11 series. Apple really stepped up their game this year, and while they were extremely late to the improvements in low light, it really shows here and going head to head with the Pixel 4, and in some cases showing better dynamic range and better shadow detail while preserving truer blacks and punchier colors. The portrait night mode shots are both sharp, but the Pixel 4 is sharper on most pictures. The exposure and balance is totally different though, and while the Pixel's picture is definitely sharper, the iPhone's picture is more accurate with the colors and better on balance when it comes to exposure. Where the iPhone clearly loses is in the front-facing camera at night. I love the wider angle on the Pixel, and there is just no other way to say it. The Pixel crushes the iPhone when it comes to front-facing camera. There's better exposure, better sharpness, and white balance, regardless of the regular shot or portrait mode. Plus, there is a night mode on the front-facing camera, so it's not even fair. If you're a huge selfie taker at night, definitely go for the Pixel. So let's go ahead and move to the night mode. This is the first year the iPhone actually has a night mode, and they have two different approaches. The Pixel likes to brighten everything as much as possible to make it look more like daytime, where the iPhone does that too, but balances the overall scene better. My issue with the Pixel at night is not how much light it lets in or how sharp the picture is, but it's the noise that comes along with it. If you look at the sky, it's full of noise, and to me it doesn't make much sense. I took shot after shot after shot, and I even moved to different scenarios, and the noise is still heavy with the Pixel 4, so I'm hoping that Google fixes this with some algorithm changes in computation. This could easily be fixed, but as of now, the noise is the major problem. But it is absolutely insane what both of these cameras are capable of in low light. We were able to go into a waste management plant where it was extremely dark, but you can't tell with either of these cameras. Sometimes the iPhone did better with shadow detail, just look at Michael Fisher's face here. And at times the Pixel did better with much better sharpness, so look at Annabong's face, it is much better on sharpness and focus, so regardless, they are both really impressive. When it comes to nighttime video though, this is where it just falls apart for the Pixel. I really hope that Google focuses on the video aspect of the Pixel more. It's not even close when it comes to the colors, the balance, the exposure, the contrast. Basically every aspect of the video is better on the iPhone. So once again, if you shoot a lot of video on your phone, you should go for the iPhone. It's not unusable though. If you shoot video in moderate nighttime conditions, it is much better for the Pixel, but this is a great example. If you digitally zoom in all the way, you can really see the drastic difference in the video quality. It's pretty shocking actually. So to sum things up, I was extremely surprised here when it came to the low light photos. While the Pixel does very well, I think I preferred the iPhone in a lot of the shots, and the noise reduction on the iPhone at night is way better. This is such a drastic change to what it was like last year, so this makes the comparison and suggestion even harder, but I think I can break it down like this to make it easier. If you love the Pixel camera, then you're going to love the Pixel 4. It's still one of the best out there. But if you have an iPhone 11 Pro, I don't think it's necessary to envy the Pixel camera anymore. Apple was super late to the game with nighttime photography, but they evened the playing field and even exceeding it in certain areas, so it's up to Google to bring back that gap and lead they once had. With the iPhone having more flexibility with the ultra-wide lens, much better video, and comparable nighttime performance, unless you're a huge selfie taker, I would lean towards the iPhone 11 series this year. But I would not count Google out. Let's see what happens through Google's camera because it is computational. There's a lot of software magic happening here. I would not be surprised to see some fast software updates fixing these problems that we're talking about. And when that happens, I will revisit this comparison again to let you know if my decision changes. So that about does it. Let me know what you think. Let me know which camera that you prefer. Let's keep it peaceful in the comments and let the images do the talking and not fanfare alone. Subscribe for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one.